Welcome back. So, Andreas and I had met in Strasbourg, driven through the Gotthard Tunnel and stayed on the shores of Lake Como in the hills of Emilia-Romagna and on board the ferry from Italy to Greece, where we camped for a week on a beach in the north before a brief trip to Lefkada and Vasiliki, and then from Preveza flying home to pick up Archie and start the long journey home to the north through Albania, Montenegro and Croatia, and getting as far as Bosnia, where unfortunately the van had broken down and we had to spend some time in a hotel before Archie decided to fly home. When you left me in the last episode, I was driving back south to see if the garage had managed to fix flow. Well, here I am, driving very slowly, but I've got flow. And I'm passing Forest Days. Oh, nervous. Here's New Marchi. I'm going past for the last time our hotel. How strange to have suddenly got very familiar with this piece of coastline. Just coming up to the Bosnian border with Croatia, so we're saying goodbye to Bosnia for the last time. When you come back, Arch, whenever that is. Beautiful light, and those are vines. I haven't drunk enough of the Croatian wine, that's for sure. Beautiful. So we've turned inland just over the headland after the bay at noon in Bosnia and said goodbye to the coast. We'll come close to it towards Split, but I don't think we see it again. So it's the end of that chapter. It's just beautiful though. This big plain we have to cross all the way to the other side and literally end up right on that side, going through tunnels to the north and joining the A1. So actually, there's all sorts of emotions in there, but it's a beautiful drive to have to do again, to be honest. On the Adriatic coast, heading north towards Split and eventually Zagreb, Ljubljana. Turns out I'm doing quite a lot of this road. Sunset does not disappoint. Sun Motion Orchestra soundtrack. Look at that, just amazing. 6 on day 29 of my trip. Heading towards Zagreb, hoping to be home in the morning of the day after tomorrow. So, a lot of driving. What a change of landscape. Coming down through the Balkans, still heading towards Zagreb. Sun's up, beautiful. Hello, thank you. £35. Right, well I think we're coming up to the Slovenian border. It's 20 to 7 in the morning. This is going to be my 11th country. There it is. Damn, I didn't get to spend the rest of my Croatian kuna. Wow, that's pretty. Slovenia looking very different to Croatia already in the early morning light. Much more alpine. Austria, Italy, Germany. They're saying 90 kilometers to Villach, which is in Austria. So sure enough, there's the Alps appearing dead ahead. Beautiful. Such a shame that it kind of signifies the end of the trip, because I'm back up into Central Europe and then just got to head due west for home. So it's been amazing. Yes, nice. Well, I've just driven 4 hours from west of Zagreb. I'm going to try and do 3 4-hour stints of driving today and tomorrow. I'm just having a bit of a tidy in my break. I don't think I can sleep, don't feel like it, but in theory I've got a couple of hours if I wanted to chill out. So I'm making good progress. It's still quite early, 9 o'clock. So I'm about 2 hours north of where I wanted to be last night. So I do need to keep driving. The van's flying along though, so that's no problem. Very pleased with that. I know that I spent quite a bit of money, but to be honest, I had some similar work done on Walt in the UK and it cost around about the same amount, so I'm not surprised, and it's a great investment obviously. And what else could I have done, to be honest, to get back on the road? But it's nice to be flying along on the motorways again. So quick break here and then on into Austria, which will be my penultimate and 12th country, new country on this trip. Obviously I'm into Germany and then back into France and Luxembourg. But yeah, heading home. Coming back to you, Lola. Miss you. Right, quick pit stop and I'm back on the road. I've even cleaned the windscreen for you. And this is the queue for the tunnel through the Austrian Alps. We've got to pay peage. Here we go, south side of the Alps to the north on the Austrian side. 7.8 kilometers. It's a solid climb all the way through, 80 kilometers an hour, and traffic. It's pretty bad the other way. Everybody's heading south. Of course, summer holidays starting. Another advantage of doing this trip when I did. Right in the middle of it now. Feels like we've been climbing for hours. Another peage coming up for another tunnel. Must be getting somewhere. Uphill for 2 hours. Some Tyrolean mountain action, I assume. That's the Tyrol. Beautiful. First mention of München. München, glad to be back. Feel the cabin depressurising as we go down quickly on the other side. That I think is Imlau Castle. No, just passing Imlau. Werfen or Wim, maybe it's Wim. I remember queuing up this hill on the other side, Charlotte and Neil. If you happen to watch this and remember our trip to Slovenia in Dad's car. Can't remember why we were queuing in the end, probably an accident, but I remember the hill because I remember the castle. Good to be back. Hello Germany! So it's the slowest entrance to any country so far, and because there's a crash or a breakdown in the fast lane up ahead, you can just see it in the distance. Been queuing for about 45 minutes. Bit of a bum start to Germany. That's my 13th and final country. And then it was Germany. Looking very German. Got to say goodbye to the Alps soon. So I was just wondering why I could no longer see a speed limit on the sat nav. Then I realised there isn't one. Oh, nice sprint. Had a break, but I think I've fried my turbo. Doesn't seem to be spooling up, really slow up hills. Don't quite know what's happened there. It's either fried or it died.
Reflections are now turning from circus mirrors and smoke to framed glass, preparing to separate my interior frailty from the dangers of the outside. Those things I do not quite understand. I can see hints of colored city kid influence and colorful accents dancing across the foundations of former communist factories, saying to me that I've been here before, despite this railway being my virgin transport in this oh-so-foreign place. Chopping through the world I've come to understand is mine like a lion's teeth through the ribs of a gazelle on the hunt. And when we reached Stuttgart, I believe I'm a man of different thinking. My energy replenished with each stop between Hamburg and Munich. Visions of Goethe and Thomas Mann immortalized by the artistic politics of iron curtains falling as certain as rain. Grapevines growing rooted from the lips of the Rhine say, this particular world I'm traveling through is much older than the world I call my own. Today I'm the gunpowder in a continental bullet, a cell in this electric vein coursing through the black forest. My destination just beyond the trees. A relatively young man, traveling ancient countrysides and newfangled sidewalk technology, looking to give more than to get, and understanding the frailty and the notion that nothing is given to you but the air you breathe. And the trees that hide my destination resemble loose hairs on the head of an old gentleman from afar. These mountains, protecting villages and colonies like a moat, encircling castles of fallen leaders, roughly an hour north of the Munich skyline. This trip is very different than any I've been on before. I wish I could transmit this experience through American urban radio and poorhouse shopping malls, to Wall Street executives and stay-at-home moms in the Bible Belt. Just to say, hey, look at the world and get off your block. Pick up a book. Stop watching the clock. There's so much more to learn than trades and monolingual grades, to be sure. This ride is special. This countryside is ancient. And many of these things I do not understand. But I feel like I've been here before. This ride, the thoughts that come with it, tell me to cherish life now, because the only real gift given to you is the present. The only real gift given to you is right now.
Business going on. Well, it's more than 12 hours on the road now. I did have a sleep in my third break. That was much needed, very deep but very brief, half an hour I think. And I've got 2 more hours worth of diesel before I need to refuel, so I'm going to drive on past Stuttgart, probably past Andreas, unfortunately, and on towards Luxembourg. Stop and have dinner when I refuel, and then maybe even drive on another hour to get nearer home. Had a much needed pit stop, and then what is this wet stuff falling from the sky? Yeah, it's rained. First rain I've seen since war. Let me think. So it's 8 o'clock Saturday night. I think I'm about an hour, and then I'm going to pull over at a park for night park up next to a cemetery apparently. But it is directly on my my route, and I can't stay in a service station car park like last night because as it's the weekend all the trucks are off the roads, or the majority of them. I can't remember what Andreas said, but I think you have to pay extra if you want to operate a truck on the weekend, so they're all chocker. And I really don't mind finding somewhere a bit out of the way. I need to press on a bit further, but it's looking really good for tomorrow now. I'm going to try for the 5:30 ferry in the afternoon from Dieppe. I was planning on the midnight sailing, but means I get in and then have to go to work. I get home at 4. Yeah, I skip probably on the boat, I skip at home, and then I've got to go to work, so I'd rather be home tomorrow night. Let's see how we get on, huh? Morning. I'm getting good at this. It's before 6 AM and I'm already off. Heading to Luxembourg. Should take me a couple of hours, cheap fuel, and then on to the west. This could be the last Ausfahrt because I'm leaving Germany, just about to turn towards Luxembourg. That black line is the border with France, virtually touching the road to our left here. Come on Luxembourg, where are you? On some cheap fuel. There we go. Where's that again? My favourite navigation apps just are going to suddenly appear across the border in France and we'll start picking up our route again. So it's been a very pretty route from Belgium towards Rheims. Rather unused route by the feels of it. We're now coming back. There's the road. Coming back into jolly old France again. Au revoir, le Nord. So I've been reading a couple of books on the philosophy of travel and doing quite a lot of thinking because I have a lot of time on my own, these long drives, and questioning why I love travel, trying to figure out what it's like the reason why I'm addicted and other people are is because it gives you that perspective on your own existence and helps build empathy, because you get pretty much the same stories wherever you go of the struggle of existence and people's loves and fears. So the key thing with travel is always trying to find the time and the place to hear those stories, and that's the difference between holidaying and travel, to my mind. It doesn't mean that you can't holiday and experience those same things that you would if you're, in the pure sense of the word, just going travelling. But it's quite easy for people to just lie on their sunlounger and miss out on all that. So this trip's been particularly good for that. I know I've rushed through many countries, but for me, the perspective, hearing the stories of the people that you meet when you're at your destinations or on your journey, is about the context of their existence within the transition that you've been through from where you spend your time and where they spend theirs. And I guess I'm particularly thinking of Christos and Jota from the Tosteki Taverna that we spent so many lovely evenings with Andreas down in Greece, because that was a very special place, and their lives are hard obviously, and they work very late and long hours, and they just make the most amazing experiences, you know, the crux of what really makes a great holiday. So I'm very, very grateful to them for being who they are, and for hearing their stories and for getting to know them a bit better, and of course being the culmination of a long drive, a long journey down there. But you know, every part of this trip's been fun for all sorts of reasons. Brilliant drive in the campervans with Andreas, fantastic to holiday with my brother in his home country, lovely to have my old friend Jane fly out and see other parts of the world that I've not seen for so long, and then to have Archie with me for at least some of the drive back. It was very special, of course, as ever. But you know, although I was so sad to have to take Archie to the airport and for him to fly home, actually travelling on your own or being on your own, because the garage became that last chapter really. It was all about the garage and the mechanics and whether they were going to rip me off and would they do a good job and would the van get me home and all that kind of stuff. So their lives then became part of the trip, and they were brothers, I didn't realise. Their mum was the chef at the hotel that we were put up in, and so she'd smuggle us down food every now and then. Pizza on one occasion, a couple of pizzas, can't remember, anyway, fruit and bread and stuff. So they were obviously concerned and looking out for us as well. So yeah, it's very fantastic time as ever. A month is such a rare treat, and it's just been bliss. There are too many highlights to mention. I hope some of them come across in the videos. Right, rant over. I wanted to say something about it. Now it's time to